It's kind of funny how much I don't want to talk and I don't want to make this video or anything. It's also because I'm fucking exhausted since I've worked like 7-8 hours today and I can never sleep if I need to wake up early the day after. I've been so busy with school and talking and dealing with things. I know that I've been a bitch. I've turned into the worst version of myself, as I always do during breakups. And now I'm slowly starting to get me back. But I talked to, let's call her I think that's a better way to name her. I talked to A 2 days ago. Because, we're gonna go on vacation together with our friend group to Italy in the end of August, or like in the middle of August. And well, I hooked up with her in March. Yeah, she's one of the people that I hooked up with. And I've been feeling so guilty that honestly I barely ever say it anywhere. Because, we were in the weekend. Like, yeah, we don't want to just hook up and then like go back to being friends and like forget that it existed. And like a week or two later, I realized that is exactly what I want to do actually. Well, I didn't realize it a week or two later. I think I realized it like 3-4 weeks later. But 2 weeks after we did that, I was like, I cannot be romantically involved with anybody actually. I'm not over my ex. I'm crashing down talking to these people and like dealing with all of their emotions. Fucking terrible. It makes me so much worse. So I'm not friends with everybody. And then, I talked to her because she's been very, very offline. And I was like, I don't want to have things to be awkward in Italy. So I, wanted to talk to her. Also, complete side note, the British guy, that story, the last time I was crashing out on a video, we're still friends. Girlie didn't find it a problem, or didn't say that she found it a problem, but then a couple of days later they were like, yeah, we're not, like both of them decided to not do anything together anymore. So, whoops. But he said that it wasn't my fault. So, yay! Anyways, back to A. So yeah, I didn't want to. God, wait. I'm gonna put on my blue light. Oh my god. Glasses. Glasses are. Oh, you can see the reflection so strongly. What the fuck? Anyways. What if I just. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, this is better. I'm distracting myself. Oopsies. But yeah, I talked to her because I wanted to apologize since, I did exactly what I said that I wouldn't do. Oopsies. And then she was like, yeah, you did hurt me. And I was like, yeah, it was never my intention, never wanted to. I know I did though. And I also was just a bit concerned for her because she was very offline, and like after I friend-zoned her, she was still like in VC with us a couple of times, and then she stopped doing that. I was like, that's a bit odd because I thought we were just friends. But it's just so many things now to think about. It's very unfortunate because I was doing really well since I talked to a mutual friend of ours who is not that active anymore. He's engaged now. What the fuck? He told me that he was engaged, and I was like, holy shit. And then later, like a day later, he was like, wait, I should ask you about your breakup. And like he asked me some thorough, in-depth questions and stuff, and just like let me talk, and it was really nice, just like over text. So that was so kind of him. Felt really, really nice afterwards. And then the talk with A kind of just made me feel opposite, because obviously it's such different things. And so there's a couple of things. Like, the first one just like makes me like just annoyed. I don't know, like just I get where she's coming from. But I'm also just like, you could be nicer about it, not gonna lie. Because she very, like, she was about to just be in a rant. Like, she was starting a rant, being like, yeah, you need to get over him. Like, he's already moved on with, like, a different girl. Like, just fucking get over him. And I was like, no, stop. Like, I think that's been the most direct, or, like, the most direct, like, I've ever been towards anybody. Like, the most serious, that's the right word. The most serious I've ever been with, like, any of my online friends. Because usually I'm like, no, I'm serious, you know. But then I was like, no, stop. I'm gonna take all the time that I need. Like, because also, like, the friend that I talked to previously, I was like, yeah, just take all the time you need, you know. It's like, take time to heal, you got this. And I was like, yeah, you know, I got this. Like, I'm gonna take a long time. But I like to take a long time, because then once I'm healed, I know that I'm very happy with myself. And, like, the person that I'll end up dating will be an added bonus. But then, like, obviously A was like, yeah, just fucking get over him. Because, well, we hooked up and she may have fallen in love with me for a bit. Whoopsies. So I get where she's coming from, but it's just feels very shitty. Because, like, I know it's fucking embarrassing. But also, like, you were not there when we fell in love. You were not there with the relationship. You do not know anything about it. Like, of course, so easy for you to say, but, like, I think you barely know that we lived together and, like, everything. And, like, I shared 2 years of my life, just, like, split it down with this man. More like a year and a half, because I was also abroad, and then, like, it was exactly 2 years. But, like, a year and a half, we lived together, and, like, my life was split with him. And it does make you just attached to someone differently. And it's because, like, roommates, it's different, because, like, I mean, the roommates that I've had, like, I could kind of ignore, but, like, here we were always in the same rooms, and, like, all of the things, and, like, all of our habits and routines, they were all based upon each other, which I think, you know, I'm so grateful for how it went, but maybe, like, it would have been a little bit better if we could have done that later in life. Like, a little bit more discussion, or, like, our own places. Still really grateful for how it went. But yeah, like, that's, and also, like, because A went to a breakup, I don't know, I think it was, like, end of September, and, like, mine was in November, and A was like, yeah, I think I got over it in, like, 3-4 months. And I was like, I knew, because we were talking a lot in December when I think, like, she got over it. And, like, in December, like, right after my breakup, it was going more well, but also, like, I was just kind of ignoring a lot of things. And also, I wasn't constantly reminded by him, because she went through a breakup, and it was, like, an online thing, and, like, she also was like, yeah, it wasn't really going that well for the last half a year. And for me, it truly was, like, in 1 week, I suddenly was like, what the fuck? What's going on with me? Which was in August. And then I was abroad. And then I came back, and, like, everything, he was like, his ghost was just dancing around. And besides his ghost dancing around in my apartment, his actual face, you know, his actual body was walking around at school. So I would see him, like, honestly, at least twice a week. There have been very little weeks now where I did not see him. I don't think it has been 2 weeks of not seeing him, which is going to happen really soon. Like, our last classes, I think, like, we don't have any classes anymore together. So the times that we now see each other, it's truly, like, a question mark, and truly based upon if we're both studying at school at the same time. But other than that, no idea. No idea. Which is nice. But like that just makes the healing process so much slower. And also like, you know, if the guy that you thought you were genuinely gonna marry, like I could picture all the details, has a new girlfriend so quickly and she's so similar to you, like yeah, that just makes you fucking spiral out. Like, and it's not even I'm explaining this to the camera because I couldn't really explain it to her because she does not want to hear about it. She does not want to hear about me and my ex, like my ex relationship. I always asked her how she was doing after breakups and be like, hey, you wanna talk and everything, and she was always crying to me in calls, and like she has forgotten about those calls. I haven't. But then when I break up with my boyfriend, a radio silence. One call where she was like, oh my god, you guys broke up, and I was like, yeah, that was like 2-3 weeks ago. Never anything of like, yeah, how was it going in that sense. So I don't really like that either. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Like I was just, very much curious about this man. Oh yeah, I was not only grieving. I'm not only like grieving him and like just the relationship. Like yeah, obviously I miss him and like the relationship. I like miss him of like last year because now I haven't really spoken to him properly. Well, I have spoken to him, but like not in the normal way of that I'm used to in like half a year. So he's also slowly becoming kind of like this weird stranger. But I'm also just grieving my future because I kind of had it all planned out and I kind of was like, yeah, we're gonna get like engaged after we graduate because like that's just my one thing. Like I want to graduate before I get engaged. I'll get married. That's the main thing, and we'll have a wedding and like we'll have like 2 kids and we'll live in like a village or like a rural part. So yeah, I was grieving my future. I'm, grieving my future, and at the same time also missing who I was, because when I hate myself whenever I go to breakups, just like not even like blaming myself and stuff, just like how I become, like how attention seeking and like how stupid I become and like how just I nearly start World War III every single fucking time. If like if the person I'm dating is good, I'm fucking crashing out so hard, like hitting rock bottom after like the breakup and like just becoming terrible. Not who I want to be or not who I like to be. And I was so happy with him and so peaceful, and like especially how I was when I was falling in love with him. I was fucking high on life, high on love. It's been the most like happy and peaceful I've ever been in my life. And it's insane. Like I look back on videos of me of last year and I'm like, wow, look at this child. Because I was just so happy and like so like, oh my god. And now I'm like a lot more toned down, So, lots of things for me to grieve. I don't suddenly get over that. So yeah, I found it kind of. I didn't like that. I very much don't like that. That she said that. She did like, and like 15 minutes later or like half an hour later, she was like, yeah, actually, like, why did I say that? That's like I'm sorry. I'm like, thank you, yeah, because I did not like saying that. And then the other thing, which is actually why I started this video and why I was so hesitant to start talking, is that she told me like, oh yeah, actually I stalked your Pinterest and your Spotify and your Letterboxd and your Last.fm, like either like every once in a while or almost daily. And that just made me like, okay, like I know that I check on people's pages and stuff, just like people that I find interesting. So that's honestly mostly my ex's girlfriend and now occasionally the British guy. Don't think about anything of that, okay? It's just his Pinterest, because he made a Pinterest just for me. Just to look at what I was doing, so now I'm looking at what he's doing. That's also added onto the people who are looking at my Pinterest. But I knew that she could see my Pinterest and stuff. I didn't know that. I knew she is in my ex's girlfriend. I didn't know that she was also checking my Pinterest, which in hindsight should have fucking thought about that. But I thought she wasn't using it. So now, and like honestly, in the last couple of months, I've been feeling slightly perceived, but I just thought it was me being paranoid because like I had no reason to think. Turns out I have been very much perceived on Pinterest, which it's always felt like a very private social media. As in like I just save all things and like nobody checks on it and stuff because like who the fuck does that? Yeah, at least 2 to 3 people. At this point, maybe 4. And none of them are my ex, for sure. Like, if one more person tells me, like, yeah, I checked your Pinterest, like, I stalked your Pinterest, I might just, like, go up to him and be like, for the love of God, did you check any of my accounts? Because babes, it was all for you. It was all for you. And you didn't. These fuck-ass bitches did. Anyways, but now I'm feeling very, very perceived. Even more. Even though, like, ex's girlfriend, she said like, yeah, I'm not gonna check your account anymore. And I truly believe that. No, I don't. Okay, I believe for like 50%. I think like she looks at it less than that I do now. Because I was like, you know, she's busy with school and like has a boyfriend or whatever, and I'm like, I'm still insane. But yeah, I also think that A is not watching my account anymore, and I don't care that much how British guy is watching my account, because he's honestly very, very nice about it. He's nicer about everything than that A is. To be fair, have I heard him less? Yeah. Do I have a feeling that he might very quickly know me better than A? Yeah. And A calls me her best friend, and every time she does that in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely your best friend. You're not mine, though. That one TikTok sound. Sorry, babes, but like we barely talk. You do not know anything about me, I feel like. Only the things you see on social media, and like things you say in VC. But like, you're not a person that I will text when I have problems. You're not a person who I randomly text about anything. We don't even text or talk that often. Even when we're like fine. When we were dating other people, we were also not talking or texting or anything. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't really feel like best friends. Bestie, that ain't it. That ain't it. At least not in my definition. I think she should get better friends. Yeah. What was my point that I was trying to make? I don't know. Anyways, my point that I want to make in general is that I'm feeling very, very perceived. Feeling like the fucking Truman Show, which is a movie that I cannot even watch again because the realization. You know how fucking annoying it is? Because it would be perfect right now. It would make me even more paranoid. It would make me feel comforted. Because I'm already feeling fucking paranoid. Like, ugh. Even like in my house right now, I kind of feel watched because, not right now because my blinds are closed. But like the neighbors, like our windows are so big. And I could very easily see in their house, so I think they're also seeing in my house. And that has made me feel very perceived. But then also on all my fucking social media, I'm feeling very perceived. My likes on Instagram are open. Twitter, it's not as much. Twitter, it's fine, but also I want to stop using Twitter. TikTok, my likes are private, so that I do like. In that sense, but like Pinterest and like everything, I'm so fucking aware right now of like how people perceive me. Same with like Spotify. A couple of months ago actually, I reorganized my entire Spotify to make it look aesthetically pleasing because I think like I could already see it like her profile, and then I was like, I don't like how my profile looks. I don't like if people perceive it like this. So then I became so aware of like how people perceive me. Already like I think at least once a week, I will look at my like Instagram account or something or like Pinterest account or like Spotify account, I'll be like, how do people perceive me? Like, if you're not me, how would you look at my account? You know what a fucking insane way of living that is? Like, I feel fucking tied up. It's I feel like I've built my own cage around me, and I desperately want to just put everything on private or something, but then I'm like, oh my god, but people will know. People will like notice that because they look at your account. And then they'll know that something's up, and like they know everything. So yeah, actually I just wanna I should have protected my peace so much that people don't actually look at my account. So yeah, that's the current update. Yeah, I'm really tired. Me and A are good. It's a bit awkward though. Not that awkward. I think she's hurt, and I'm also a little bit like, we'd be fucking terrible for each other. I already knew that. I already knew that before we hooked up, but I was drunk and stupid as fuck. That's the thing about British guy. If I wasn't in a different country, and if I didn't like crash out this badly. No, let me rephrase that. If I didn't date my ex before him, like if I didn't date my ex, if he didn't have like, you know, my standards raised so high, I could have very easily dated him. Very easily. Absolutely. Would we have lasted? I don't know. I'm so bad at long distance. But too bad. I have my ex. And he was kind of a good guy. So yeah, excited to see what the future comes. Anyways, for some reason, like these, like my diary, it feels too confronting to write down everything, because I read back everything. God, I'm perceiving myself too much, actually. I'm perceiving myself way too much. I'm constantly thinking, oh my god. I built this cage of like male fantasies by that one poem. But yeah, I love these video diaries because I can just say shit and then not watch it back. I'm too scared of writing. So, yeah, yay, welcome to my life. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. Which is also, I think I saw a Tumblr post just now about the Truman Show being like, yeah, you know, back when it was before social media era and stuff, like that was terrifying to have your life like so surveilled and like controlled by an audience. And now it's like normal. And now I feel like that shouldn't be normal. Like I have this constant state of anxiety because I feel like somebody can just is always watching me. Ooh. I'm really hoping that in like a year from now or something, I'll have protected my peace and I'll be in peace again. Please. Please. That's like also what I mean. It's like I wasn't as messy when I was with that guy. Like my life was very peaceful. People weren't stalking my fucking Spotify or anything. They had no interest to. There was no reason to. I was just with him. I'm sure he sometimes looked at my profile, but he doesn't use Pinterest that often. So like, we can still look at each other's Spotify. Like, the funniest shit as ever is that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna follow you on some social media, and I'm like, I just did it on the ones that like we were both active on. Like I'm still very active on. Which was Steam, Xbox, Spotify, and Pinterest. Yeah, I'm also active on Instagram, so is he, but like I don't wanna know what's up. Like that's like a normal level of following. Xbox and Steam, you like unfriend the person, and then like you just unfriend the person, and they also stop being friends with you. That's like a mutual thingy. So that's we're not friends anymore. The other two, Pinterest, he still follows me. To be fair, he hasn't used Pinterest in like a month, and it was like less than a month ago or something that I followed him. So maybe he'll do that once he opens up Pinterest again, or he wants to still be able to look at my profile. Who knows? But I don't think so. Because he also unfollowed me. He did unfollow me on Spotify. I think like either like a couple of days later or like a week later. I think it was like a week later that I unfollowed him. That he unfollowed me on Spotify. However, we still have shared playlists together. Because like I didn't want to delete it immediately because I love to just immediately delete things to be like, okay, this way I'm gonna get over somebody faster. Spoiler alert, then I don't. Except I didn't want to delete like the shared ones that we made together because I was like, yeah, that's a little bit rude. Like I'm sure he's still going through it. And then he never deleted them either. He did delete like the playlist that he made for me, like it's like a green heart. Related because of me. In like December, it did like 3 days after he went on a date basically, but it's not girlfriend. But he didn't delete the shared playlists. And like they're still in your library. Like you cannot just unfollow them because then I will see that like he still has literally one. So we still have a very easy way of stalking each other. Because we just go through that. At least his girlfriend cannot see my profile anymore, but yeah, we can see each other's profile. I don't know if I crashed out. I think I crashed out on that on video actually. Like a week ago. He had like this playlist and he called it 2002. Well, first was just 3 dots. And he was like, I'm sad and overstimulated. I don't expect you to understand. Then he changed it like a week ago or something to 2002, which was the original, how it was originally called. And then the caption was like, I'm sorry to disappoint. You didn't ruin my life. Which was like, bitch. And like every single time afterwards when I saw it, it was like, hell yeah, I didn't. That's the whole fucking point. Fuck yeah. And now he changed the caption to, I don't relate to these songs anymore. The music is just banger. So that's good. It's weird to see him so happy. Or happy, like, I don't know. But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Thank God, he's happy. Like, I didn't... That's also the thing that I told, like, my friend who's engaged. Of like, yeah, that's the thing of, like, when you love somebody, you just want the absolute best for them. You just want them to be happy. And if that's not with you, then it's not with you. But yeah, I am very much... Like, I'm so much better in my healing process right now. Like, also because, wow, so many people have seen me crash out about him on Pinterest. And all of them were like, girl, and a little bit hurting by it, because there were the people that should not have seen it. And then him, he doesn't care. You know how fucking embarrassing that is? And this most embarrassing half year of my life. Most embarrassing half year of my life. Oh my god. Please let it end. Please. Please. So yeah, that's life updates with me. Hoping to get rid of my surveillance Trump. No, Truman, Jesus Christ. Ooh. Okay, please don't. Touch. Nobody watching these anyways. See, that's so nice. Nobody watches these. For some fucking... Like, these is also... People could very easily watch these. Because I post them publicly on YouTube. Nobody fucking is ever gonna fucking find them. So it feels very private. But I don't think this is gonna help me with my surveillance, like my anxiety anyways. Yay! Slay Queens! All right. I'll see you guys next time, and God knows when that is. Cause truly, I now just record whenever I'm like, yeah, I should probably like record something or like talk about my feelings or what happened. But I don't want to write about it because that's too much. Okay. Bye bye.